Tomorrow night at Fifth Third Field, we've got the Battle of I-75 in baseball. Toledo and Bowling Green will play in downtown Toledo for the second straight year. For the Haas family, this rivalry just means a little more, especially on the diamond. Tyler Haas is a senior catcher at BGSU. His grandfather is Gary Haas, who was a four-year starter for the Falcons back in the 70s and went on to become a BGSU Hall of Famer. But somewhere in the middle, Tyler's dad crossed over the rivalry. From 1992 to 1995, Gary Haas Jr. played at the University of Toledo. One thing they have all had in common, though, is the love for this sport that has brought them all together.
A lot of our conversations between myself, my father, and Tyler, I mean, a lot of times it always comes back to baseball, and we're always talking about the game, and I think that's a common language that the three of us speak, so it's been good.
I think before Tyler came here, there was some dueling back and forth between my son and I, but once Tyler came here, I think he came over to the good side, so so to speak.
There's some times where they still talk about, oh, I did this in college, I did this, and it's fun going back and forth, and it's nice to where I'm at, where now I can have those conversations with them.
For Tyler, the recruiting process was actually a pretty easy decision. When BG came calling, he jumped at the opportunity. Dad, the Rocket, had no issues with that.
Basically, he told me to go wherever I could play, wherever I could go, have an impact. So when they called 2 days later, I committed.
It was a real simple conversation. I mean, I asked him two questions, when he first got the offer. The first question was, are you sure you want to play college baseball? And he said yes, and I said, are you sure you want to go to Bowling Green? And he said yes, and that was the end of it. I mean, it was a pretty simple discussion.
This past weekend, the Battle of I-75 was renewed, and even though Dad was a Rocket, he has joined Grandpa and Tyler on the BG side of the rivalry.